just begun. There's a fire on the horizon. There's a fire, so let it burn. We can get higher over the mountain. We're falling, life keeps calling.
What's going on, traders? How we doing out there? Welcome to it. Money Mitch here. Gonna get to you guys. Gonna get to some stocks here. Let's get started. Let's hit a thumbs on up. Hit the chat. Let me know a stock that you guys are looking out this week. We're gonna talk all about what kind of stocks you guys should probably be looking for if we potentially go to war or not. What happens in Russia? Which stocks should we be looking at? I'll go ahead and talk all about them right here on Money Mitch. First things first, hit that like, guys. Let's get it started.
It's time for Money Making Mitch. When investors need a story, we're going to the moon. Welcome to Money Mitch, where story is everything. I'm here to find you the next opportunity. It's all about the green hands. Now, we all know the bull market is here to stay. Money Mitch.
What's going on out there, traders? I hope you guys are enjoying it. Let me know in the chat how it's looking right now. Looks like my internet's being a little bit slow, but let me know if I'm being a little bit laggy. How do you guys hear me out there? Good morning, Eagle. How we doing, Trady? I'm saying good morning because some people are still morning, you know, in the Pacific side. You know, for me, it's 10 a.m., so it's still morning for me. Some of you guys might be in the afternoon. Hey, how we doing, Born out there? USO, yes, we'll talk all about oil. I definitely got a ton of alerts to go through since I haven't been on my computer. I just got them. GFI, WPM, Fubo, M, Macy's, giving me 2 alerts there. MRO crossing up over. Also, we'll talk about steel. These are some that I'll definitely go ahead and touch. Let me actually write some of these down, make sure I get through them here. I'll let you know why exactly I'm looking at these, but I always set alerts. I don't know about you guys, but I think alerts are the best way of keeping track of stocks because, I mean, we can't look at everything at all times. But I do set daily levels that I want to see broken. And then once they alert me, I can go back to the chart. I already have the trade drawn out, and it'll go ahead and help me out, get to the stocks. So let's go ahead. Let's do that exactly. So welcome to it, guys. We're going to get it. Money Mitch here. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of these stocks. I will be putting on some music, so you guys let me know how the tunes are playing here and if you guys hear me good. Good morning, Tiffany. How we doing out there? All right, the vibes will be playing today. If you don't like the vibes, let me know. I can change them on up. I'm going to keep them a little lower. But today's kind of a relaxed kind of day. I usually do this on Sunday. But today, you know, being day off, I said, let's do it Monday. Let's have some fun. Let's get into some stocks and get into some action and see what we see out there. All right, first things first, let's take a look at the SPY. Overall market is the first thing I always usually look at. Let's go to my main charting here. So I'll put it a little bit more full screen here so you guys can see me and still see the stocks today. All right, what's going on out there? Let's get into it. Say hello out there in the chat if you're new. And definitely, do me a favor, guys. Do me the favor. Hit the share button. Hit that share button right now below so that we can go ahead and share this with all the traders that want to go ahead and still look at some charts today. You look at crypto also. I'll take a look at it for Christopher, I got no problem. Hey, hit that share button. Let's keep going. All right, so SPY first, guys. I hope you guys are enjoying the vibes. Let me know if I need to turn the music down or up. I'll keep it going here. And let's take a look at what I missed here in the SPY. So one of the biggest things that I've been watching is, did we get a dead cat bounce in this kind of 31st when we're coming back up there towards the 460s? And you can see we reversed pretty significantly from this red line here. I'm going to draw it red so you guys can see it a little bit better here. So if you guys see here, this is the important line, I think, to watch. It really gives us that bear flag look, and now we're starting to crack on down. The real question is the next level of support. Where can we find some level of support? We found some support here before, so I'm going to draw this one as a yellow line here. This is kind of our yellow in the sand going into the week. So this is around the 428.86. Of course, you see some wicks down here towards 427. And right here, let's say the wick is 428.86. Right here, you went to 427.82. So we can call it like 428 or 428 area. That's the area where we're going to get a little bit of the fighting of the bear zones if they want to go ahead and break this down and really just crush the market, And so that's what we're going to be watching. Of course, what could be that news? Of course, we're going into March, rate hikes coming. The real question is, do we get more than one rate hike? Is it going to be a 0.25 or 0.5 move? I think it's going to be that 0.5 move, so we're getting prepared for it. And the market might be pricing it in. All right, so one thing I've been watching is, of course, all the Russian news. That's going to be the biggest thing that determines here the SPY and the overall market. We're going to be seeing if Russia goes to war or not. There's been this battle. One of my things, I was talking about it last week early on before kind of the media was trying to catch on to it, was the Olympics ending. The Olympics ended yesterday, so watching today and tomorrow as being very important days to see what happens with Russia. I think if you can get through a week after the Olympics and nothing has happened, maybe we could potentially get out of this moment, and then we can look for a rip up in the market. But for right now, you got to have some uncertainty out there. I don't know how you don't have uncertainty out there right now. All right, but let's go ahead. Let's turn things up. Let's have some more fun. Let's have some good times. I'm seeing Born in the chat. I'm seeing Tesla mention. I'm seeing Christopher. What's going on? Kyler, Easy Money, Ronald. What's up out there? Let's keep it going, guys. Hit the like. Let's get some more people in here. And let's keep the vibes up. All right. Let's go ahead. Let's start taking a look at some of these stocks. Let's get out of the overall market. Let's get into the sectors, see what we see strong and what we see not, right? And so a lot of what I'm looking at all the time is sector analysis. Why is this important? Because I look to, and I'm going to go to the music a little bit more when we get towards our ticker time right now. I'm going to lower it so that you guys can kind of understand how I trade, how I do Money Mitch. This is everyday weekdays at 4:30. Normally, that's when I'm live. But what I like to do is always look at sectors, industries to stock. We work backwards and not forward. A lot of times, what do you see on Twitter, guys? What do you see? You see people mentioning things like, oh, well, I see this stock and I think this stock pick is going to go to the moon. No, that's really not the way I like to approach the market. If you'll see a lot of my tweets, and you guys can look me up at Story Investors, one of the things that I put out is I put out sectors a lot of the times with my pick. Yes, I'll make a pick of a stock, but I put the sector or the industry that I'm looking at and why I'm looking at that. And I think that's more important than giving you guys the stock picks, because if we're able to get onto the right industry, the right sector, then you guys can find the right plays to find a basket and hopefully potentially put that money into your pocket, which is what we're all after, right? So let's get after it. Let's get into these sectors and these industries and see what we see. So right now, consumer defensives, I feel like it's setting on up. I know this is a little bit of a bearish pattern, but what do you have here? You have multiple highs in the same area, and you're holding towards this. And so if you can get up into this box area, let's say to this 5,000 mark on this index, you're going to be looking for some consumer defensive names to really start pushing on up, maybe coming back towards these highs that we have from January 3rd. So what are the industries in the consumer defensives, and how can we play these? That's the next question you need to ask yourself. So you go into food distribution. Food distribution is the one that I've been looking at for a kind of an increase. This is kind of more of an inflationary play. But if you look here, that looks like a strong candle that we got last week. Nice bullish engulfing. Now you got a nice hold. It can hold this pullback to 5,000. You're still looking good as long as it kind of holds into this area and we come back and take out the highs. And you can see here, one of the things that I clearly see is 1, 2, 3 times to try to take out that high. And it's even tried to take out this high again, this 5th time. You're at the 6th time trying to take out that high. You could start seeing a push in food distribution. And how do I approach that? From that point, now that we're understanding, hey, we're looking at food distribution, we want to work into this box. So first we go sector to industry to stocks themselves. And so one of the things that I would do here is I'd start clicking on these. And first thing I look at is the higher capitalization. Is there a leading kind of stock here? Usually the higher cap ones can get the real industry moving, right? Because it has higher weight in the index. And so we can look here at SYY. This is one that I've been looking at it to take off. It looks very similar to the index. You got multiple highs in the same area, and we could start pushing on up through that 85 again that we did push up on the daily. We pushed it up on Wednesday, pulled back 2 days. Look for it maybe to take out that 85 again and get on up there. Another one that I've been looking at is USFD. I've been watching this one since the pandemic. You can see here because I have lines that were created when? June 22nd, 2020. That's why I love this. What I'm using here is TC2000, not trying to rep them or give them any vibes. This is just a charting software that I use and I like. But definitely, guys, what I'm looking to do now is get a little push back above 40s. Because we can get that continued momentum back into the 45s. This is not a bad stock to take a look at. If you take a look at the weekly, it looks like you just pushed on up, held pullbacks below this trend line. If we can take out 39 next week, this is definitely one I like for swing trades. Like always, guys, this is only for informational purposes only, not for investment advice. And of course, I could hold positions in these. So come to Money Mitch to find out which ones I take this week. But I'm definitely going to be watching some of these and also taking some of the live trades on live trading with Benzinga. Let's go ahead. Let's keep going. Let's get into some other areas. So what can you look at? So maybe discount stores. Is this a trend that you're seeing? If you look here on the daily, looks like you're trying to come on back, but really no trend in this one. So really discount stores isn't standing out the most to me. But what are those kind of stores? And maybe if you could see something lead is like Walmart, Costco, Target. If you see those start moving, Walmart's the only one that I look like has a strong kind of day on Thursday, but we'll see if it can continue back through the 140s. Of course, tobacco has already run a significant amount, so look for maybe a reversal in tobacco. But tobacco's led the industry a significant amount. Philip Morris has been one of those stocks that have led. If you can see here, it's very close to the sector. All right, so I'm going to catch up with the chat. What's going on, Eric? We got Aaron Sachs in the house. What's up, man? Happy surprise. I got you, dude. Darren F., good morning. Didn't know that there would be any shows today. Honestly, this is a special, guys. This is only because I wanted to be here and spend some time with you guys. I got to do a little pinky up action, get some orange juice in. I said, you know what? I missed 2 days. There's no other way to get back on it than just right here, hang out with you guys, talk some stocks, put some tunes on, and relax and enjoy the day, guys. Let's have a good time. Let's talk some stocks. Keep throwing up some stocks in the chat. In a few minutes, we're going to get into ticker times, and I will be running through all those stocks that you guys want to touch. But of course, if you throw a stock, please do the man a favor. Hit the thumbs on up. Let's go ahead. Let's keep going. All right, what's going on? Let's keep going. Let's look at some other stock areas to watch. Pharmaceutical retailers. This is like Walgreens. Look how these have come out of favor. So a lot of times stocks get in favor and out of favor. This is why I do sector analysis, guys, because sometimes you're going to see stocks like this that for weeks upon time just start getting out of favor. right? So this stock went up for like 4 or 5 weeks. And now what has it done? It's gone down for 4 or 5 weeks. And so this is important to notice, guys. This is why I want to ride waves on up in areas that we're going to be green, stocks that are moving in the right direction. Because if we go ahead and try to trade stocks when they're all moving away, like you see in this area now, Walgreens, these are the times where I don't want to be trading these stocks, and I want to be moving with the rotation, guys. Rotation is so important. And if you can rotate and be with the market, I'm telling you, this is how we beat the smart money, guys. It's the only way we're going to get around being retail traders and trading with investors, trading with kind of big money. It's by watching them, looking where the money's flowing, and then being able to trade with those trades. Hope you guys are enjoying the content today. Hit the thumbs on up. I want to check on the like game. We got over 185 people here. Let's go ahead and see where we're at on the like game. Where we at, guys? Did we get to 100 yet? Let's get to 100 likes. See if we can keep this going. All right, let's see. I'm checking on the likes here. We're at 57, guys. Let's go. Get them on up. Let's get it on up to 100. All right, Tesla ready for a pop. All right, we'll definitely talk about Tesla, Amazon. Those are definitely on my list. I got some to get into. But the big thing here is we talked right now, right? What I like to do is work backwards. This is why, guys. This is seeing it in action. We're going to trade with stocks that are moving with the herd. The herd mentality actually is not a bad thing to trade with, because when you trade contrarian to the herd, that's when I feel like you get the biggest pain. We want to trade with stocks that are trending either going up or down, whichever way it is. Consolidation is fun to kind of find, but what we're really looking for is breakouts or breakdowns, and then get those throwbacks where we can get it on the pullback and then boom, load up the position and land those swing trades. Let's keep it going, guys. All right, got to get some sounds going here, man. Where's my stream deck? All right, let's keep going. Let's look at some other stocks in the pharmaceuticals, and then you'll see kind of the similar trend, right? Look at RAD. RAD started going on up. It went up 2-3 weeks, and then what happened? 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks down. What does that show us? That it wasn't it actually led downwards and wasn't as strong, couldn't hold the gains. Look at CVS. CVS was our leader in this, and CVS was actually breaking on out from November all the way until about January 28th in that week. So you could see here in 3 months, you got 24% in CVS. That's a good breakout. You could have been watching that breakout in CVS and trading WBA on those breakouts. So like that broke out in November, right? So this one broke out in December. It bottomed there on the chart there in December 3rd. That week, and then you started seeing that drive on up. So this is how you catch what's called the laggard trade. I talk about this trade all the time. It's called the leader to laggards trade. So when you see a leader move in an industry like CVS, right? It's leading the industry. Maybe you missed that move. It's okay. Don't beat yourself up about missing moves. Look for the sympathy move. Look for where the industry's going. Is the whole industry moving with CVS? If that is happening, then I'm going to look for the second stock that has that laggard effect, that maybe is moving off the support. And maybe people aren't looking at it because it's getting off that support. And now I want to ride the momentum, use that support as my risk, and get that like in this case, WBA, and get that ride back on up. All right, let's go ahead. Let's keep going. Is this live? Ooh, Elon, this is live, guys. This is space action here, guys. So let's keep it going, guys. It's time to keep going. Let's go. Boom, shakalaka. Let's go. All right, guys. So other areas to watch, of course, I'd be watching some grocery stores. KR looks like it wants to take another lift here. I could see it making a push on up past 47. So keep your eyes on this discretionary defensive kind of stocks. Another thing to kind of look at, it's, of course, is some of the bigger boys like PG turning around from that bottom. Look for PG to come back to take 163. Coke. Coke, look at these strong dailies on the last 2 days. Why is this happening? Of course, when you get into defensive, sometimes you're going to see these beverages like these soft drinks make these nice move. If you look here on the weekly, this is setting on up for a nice continued move, weekly bullish candle that engulfed this whole area. And that's the important part. It engulfs the whole consolidation. You could see continued moves in Coke. Yes, I'm talking Coke here, guys. This is a $60 stock. I can go through all different types of stocks when we do sector to industry analysis. And one of the things that you can clearly see here is everything kind of pointing to the upside. The average true range expanding, showing me volatility into the move. What does that show me? Volume's probably coming into the move here also. And you can see here we've gone down, but ever since we started pushing out there through that 60, we've had an increase of relative volume, showing people are trading Coke. The relative rotation of volume is coming into these consumer defensive beverages stocks. Let's go ahead and keep going. All right, I want to get out of these defensive stocks. You can see utilities. This doesn't seem like the best chart for me, but it is holding trend. If you kind of draw a upslope trend here, you can see how we kind of broke that trend here. Let's see if it recovers and gets back up into this area. If you see a recovery of utilities, then I'll start looking at it for the upside. Financials is one that I started thinking that maybe we could get a nice push. Big reason was because if you look at the daily, we were consolidating towards the upside of that move. But right now, it just tested towards the downside of this move. Needs to recover immediately, getting back up to the 2,000. So look for a strong Monday for financial stocks if we're going to get the recovery and get the boom that I'm looking for in this industry, in this sector. And then so certain industries that you can look at. What looks good here? So I would look at credit services. You can see here, still looks kind of bearish to me, kind of holding a trend sideways here. Probably draw it up to this first trend, and you can see multiple touches there. Needs to get back above here. So let's say into the 8,000s really for it to start really getting into that bullish trend. So credit services is not one. What does look bullish to me here? I'm just going down through the industries, and that's the fun part. You can just literally work through it, see what stands out to you. So this one looks a little bit better, like we're holding towards the bottom of the range here. And so what is this? This is property and casualty insurance. You can take a look at stocks like CB. Look at PGR. So these are kind of progressive. This is insurance. Not looking too bad. This one could start pushing. Look at the volume that came into this stock off the 105. Really holding a pattern. This is how I find stocks, guys. I would never trade normally PGR in my life. But hey, if it's going to start moving, maybe we start trading it, right? All right, so let's go ahead. Let's keep going. Let's get into stocks out there. Travelers Company, a whole bunch of things moving out there. So let's talk a little bit about MRO. I know that I did get an alert for that, so I'm going to be watching to see if oil can continue. This is one that we day traded last week, and it was such a good trade. We're going to continue to watch. It's back into the channel, and I think that's the important part. If you look here in the daily, we broke through the channel on the underside, and now we've recovered that channel. The big thing now is look to see if we can get towards 2305 and really try to get back towards the top of this channel. So that would be a move up here towards that 23. So I'm going to be watching MRO, and you can see a lot of things kind of pointing towards the upside in these. But let's go look at a different one, XOM here. XOM is pulling on back there, Exxon Mobil. So we'll see if this one can find some support, multiple supports in this area. So I'm just going to actually delete some of these lines, kind of draw it out a little bit cleaner for us. And we can just use kind of that prior resistance that became support at 76.45 as the low here to go off of. Look for it to come back into the 80s if we're going to get a recovery in oil. So I'll be watching XOM, MRO, a continuation. Now, what's going on in oil, right? It's always about the story. One of the things that I like to do as Money Mitch is always talk about the story. Sorry, my dog's playing with the kind of the curtains back there. You guys see a little bit of change in lights, but one of the things is always staying with the stories, right? Staying with the news flow and kind of not trying to predict But look at where the stocks are moving and look where the rotation's going, and use that to kind of give ourselves some structure to our trade, right? And so with oil, the things that we need to kind of keep in our forefront, right, is not only the Russian situation, but also the Iran nuclear deal. If that goes through, that's at least going to help alleviate the pressure if Russia does invade and we have an extended war in kind of in Europe, right? And so, well, not in Europe, but in Eastern Europe. And so one of the things that we need to watch is if Russia goes to war, how's that going to affect oil? And if Iran's nuclear deal is going to be enough supply to help alleviate the supply shortage that could happen because of a potential war that we have out there. So this is a lot to kind of keep on watch. I'm kind of keeping it on watch and kind of being more in a reactionary phase. Of course, I think that maybe, Russia goes to war. I don't know. You don't know probably. And to tell you the truth, I don't even think our president knows. So one of the things that we need to do is be more reactionary and think both ways. So we're going to look at stocks in both ways, if war happens or not. If war doesn't happen, I would be looking for oil to maybe potentially take a quick hit. And so you need to be able to think both ways. Be flexible, guys. As a trader, you need to be flexible. As an investor, you can be a little bit further time horizon out and just be like, okay, I believe in this stock for over time. I've done a cash flow analysis. I know that it should be valued around this price. Let's go ahead and take a look. Yeah, that's for investing. But what we're doing here is trading, and you need to be flexible and be able to be on both sides. All right, what's going on out there, guys? We got Beach Bum Trading in the house. Devin, Darren, Rick, Brian, it's good to see you guys in the chat. Easy, Dan, what's up, my brother? It's good to talk about it. Still on gold and silver. Hey, let's talk a little bit about my gold trade here. I'm going to get into gold, and then we'll talk about stocks from you guys as we've gotten about halfway through our show here. Let's go ahead and keep talking. We've been in AU, guys, for a decent while since this candle here. Now we're up here into the 22s. I'm looking for this to continue going into the 23s. We hit the long-term trend line that I was kind of drawing on out. I'm looking for a move into 24s next week, and this is because of gold. We've been talking about it, and what can I say, guys? I love the gold stocks right now, guys. I've been watching this, and why did I find gold? Because, of course, I looked at the basic materials index here. I saw the sector, and what is the sector doing? It's in sideways consolidation, looking to break on out, right? If it gets on up here through the 2400 area, if we get on up into this area, that's going to be a nice breakout for basic materials. What's in basic materials and what's looking good? To me, gold is the best industry that's looking good here. If you look here now on this monthly, we have a bullish engulfing candle on the monthly. You look on the weekly, look at the last 3 weeks since we've been watching this. Why have we been watching this? The 3 bottoming actions, nice reversal, looking good for us. The daily chart, we've been talking about this since this move here on this is going to be February 13th. So we've been watching this now for over a week, guys. Going to watch the continued action. It's okay if we get a pullback, but I think we could get a breakout, a really continued breakout. And if you look into the volume here, you look at the volume spiked really high on that Thursday. We're going to look for it to take on that out. Some of the stocks you guys can be watching. NEM is a stock that I've been calling out significantly. This is a gold play. Watch this one. NEM, guys, had a really strong day on Thursday. This is one that I was looking for a breakout through 65s. You guys can see my levels drawn there. And we've been watching this one since February 13th, since we drew that area. This is why I kind of stay with the herd mentality, right? I want to trade with these guys and find them and be able to nail these down. All right, so gold is another one that we were watching, GOLD. We did a day trade on this one, didn't continue to hold it, and maybe that's one that we sold a little early. But GOLD has been ripping, and I can look for a breakout through 24. This is one that looked very similar to the trend line. We're looking for a continued move, and gold has made a a great week. I mean, last week we were watching this for now two or 3 weeks, and look at this. Look at this move here. This was just a 12.43% move in GOLD last week. All right, let's go ahead. Let's get into the stocks that you guys want to take a look at. This is the area that I'm definitely going to be watching. Reopening trades, I'm keeping an eye out for. Even though the market is suffering, I think you're going to continue to see some strength coming into these. So this is definitely opportunities for like AAL. Airbnb was really an awesome stock last week. This one made a huge move on up, retraced towards the end of the week, but man, has this one got a nice lift. I'll be looking for pullbacks into the 160 and then look for this to come back to 190s, maybe break out through 200 after the kind of the uncertainty of war or not goes away. All right, guys, looks like we got over 300 people watching here. I'm going to check out the like count right now. We're at 101 like. If you guys are joining us for the first time ever, please say hello in the chat. Throw a thumbs on up if you want to throw a stock and get it analyzed right now. I'm going to do some live analysis. And like always, guys, let's get to the money because that's what we're here, guys. Let's talk some money picks. What is going on out there, guys? Throw me some stocks. Hit a thumbs on up. Hit the subscribe button. And let's keep going. All right, guys, let's go ahead. Let's look at the stocks that you guys want to take a look at now and see what stocks. Let's see what you guys got. What do you guys got out there? All right, so PAR is the first stock I'm seeing from Eric Taylor. I'm sure there was some mentioned above. So if you guys if you guys already mentioned one, just throw it up again. I'll definitely keep running through these. I'm going to try my best to go fast. We're going to knock these out, guys. So I'm going to give levels. I'm going to be really fast. I'm going to really take a quick analysis. And if you guys want me to slow down, throw it up in the chat. Be like, hey, let's keep talking about this one, or maybe a sector or an industry. That's also something I'd love to see. If you guys got a sector and industry that you guys love, throw it up in the chat. All right, we got about 118 likes. Let's keep it going. Let's see if we can get towards 150, at least 50% of you guys liking this. Let's go. All right, so PAR, let's look at the daily. Let's zoom on in. Let's get a little bit deeper here. And so one thing you can clearly see is that it was in this trend and broke this trend, right? And so from that moment, we've been kind of in a little bit of a free fall, trying to find some support. We found a little bit of support here at this support here. Now the question is, do you come back and test it? You've recovered from that area, and now you're looking like you're starting to break down again. I would really want to see this trend line get back into. So getting back, let's say to 43s is a good area if you're going to catch some support. Now, if you are looking for a short, I would be looking for below these levels here. And so if it would break down through 39.90 on the downside, I do think that you could potentially see a continued momentum down towards that 35.75 and at least test that area where it found support one more time. That's PAR Technologies, and this is software applications. I'm not the biggest fan of software applications right now. And if you can see here in a longer trend, you kind of keep holding this trend. You got above it. Now look to see if it gets back below it into that 40 below. If it does that, it could continue on the downside. That's PAR. Let's keep going. AFCG, MJ Play. AFCG, this is an interesting one here. Real estate services. Just doesn't look like anything too sexy, but at the end of the day, it looks like it's trying to do what's called the undercut and rally trade. So the undercut and rally trade is when you get this kind of like relatively new IPO, and then you see what it cuts through this bottom line, right? And when you cut through that bottom line, there's only one thing I want you to pay attention to. And so I'll go ahead and I'll draw this red so you guys can see that line. And so the big thing on that is, when does the big volume come into this stock? And you can see here, it comes into it right here as you're breaking through those levels. And so I'd look for about like 3 big volume days. I'd maybe look for even one more volume day to get me out of this zone, this like 1975, 2060s above. You need to get out of that zone so you can start getting that big ramp right back on up. and I draw maybe a trend line here like this, and I'm looking for a move back into this area. If I can get a move back into that area, then maybe you can get what's called the undercut and rally trade, looking for an entry somewhere in here above 1975, and then using below, let's say, 1930s or 1925s as your risk for a move back towards that 25. That's the only way I would approach it. But like always, do your own investment advice. This is just for educational purposes. SLG strong. Hey, you know, one thing I'm working on the interview with Ann Han right now. If you guys don't know, I do interviews a lot of times on Mondays. We'll see if I have one on Tuesday this week. But as you guys can see, I'm going to be trying to get SLGG, a cheaper stock here, $2 stock. So we don't, you know, discriminate to penny stocks or something cheaper. I'll take a look at it. If it's setting on up, I got no problem. I'm a trader and I'm going to take a look. All right, so we will be having Ann Han back. I'm thinking about in 2 weeks. We're working on a date right now. We'll let you know. SLGG, strong, baby. Cindy, let's keep going. All right, so it looks like we got Snap being thrown up in the chat. I'm going to keep going through these stocks and try to go a little bit faster. Snap looks like it wants to go into free fall here, guys. I really don't like this chart. It really does look like you did get this kind of one candle here where it was just an anomaly, like don't even pay attention to that chart, that tick right there. I would just be paying attention to this. And to me, if you go off of that trend line, you see here how it's been reacting since you've broken that trend line. You have these 3 lines here. It needs to recover at least the support here. So as long as it can hold in the 35 range, you're not looking too bad. But if you break down through there and you get into, like, let's say, this 30 range tomorrow or this next week, that could really look bad for Snap. Above 41s, let's say 41.50s is the only area that I would look for an upside move back into this trend up there towards 48 or 50. So Snap, I really don't like right here. All right, BRCC, let's keep it going. All right, this is packaged foods. Looks like a relatively newer IPO stock. I'd take a look at the hourly. I do like hourly charts, and looks like I've taken a look at this before. Looks like we got a 1 push up, 2 push up, 3 push up. Looks like it tried to break out here. Let's call the low right on here around 1726. That's the area that maybe you might get a red to green type of ability to get an entry and then look for it to break out. But I would really want to see it hold 17 from below that. So that'd be kind of the risk to reward area. And so you're looking at kind of this area tomorrow. We'll see if this can get back up towards 22. Definitely a higher risk type of stock because you're talking about a relatively new IPO. It's going to be moving all over the place, have spreads all over the place. So be careful. So definitely if you're looking at this one, but hey, not a bad one called out in the chat. Tesla, I know Tesla has been called out by multiple people. So if you called out Tesla, thank Thomas. Thomas got my eyes. I don't know why, but hey, he got me. Let's take a look here. What do we got and where are we looking for support? And so a lot of this has been kind of this green line I've been calling 950s back towards the upside. If we get back towards 950, we can talk about some green kind of moves here for Tesla. But for right now, I'm actually looking bearish in Tesla after we rejected to break on out through the 1200s. And if you look here, I'd kind of call out here into the 1000. Once you get back into that range, you'll be fine. I wanted to see if it was going to hold kind of a bottom trend line here, and it's not holding that trend line there. So now you're seeing the breakdown of that. Let's take a look here on the daily. And on the daily, you see kind of a little bit closer. You see why I drew that green line there. There's multiple resistance touch there. It's around the 950 area. You can put 947 or round it up to 950. So another thing is, what do you see here? So you've seen some bottoming action. We've come down towards these levels before. And so you got 1 kind of attempt to break down here, 2 attempt to break down. Now you got this 3rd attempt. You want to kind of hold this area. You don't want to break down through there because if you do, you could see continuation momentum. Where could that continuation momentum come? If you measure this as a flag on the downside here, if you're measuring here, you got about 182 points. So think about 182 points from the breakdown point. So let's say around 800s or 825s, about 182 points down. You could get a move down towards 600. It could come down towards the next level of support, down towards 600. So we don't want to see that 200-day average break too, which is this purple line. The purple line right now is at 829.25. So look for that to hold right now, 830s. As long as 830s hold, you can catch some support. If that breaks from that 830, that's where I would be looking for shorts to get into, using 830 as my resistance, looking for the continued momentum through 800, and then to take down to 600. We'll see what happens in Tesla. The Ender Games, what happens there? We'll see. Hey, it could be, or you could be a little bit and make that money. We'll see what happens in Tesla. All right, got some other stocks to mention. VCSA, I don't know this one, so I'll take a quick look at this. Vacasa. Oh, this is a SPAC here. I actually interviewed this one. I actually know a little bit about it. It needs to get back above that 860. Doesn't look too bad because it's like kind of a reopening trade. So look for an 860 push. You got in a couple of weeklies up there. Look at the weekly. I would be very careful with SPACs to use daily charts. I'd use a deeper time frame like a weekly or even a monthly to see recovery and really get strong. SoFi, similar idea here. You're talking about a SPAC that I've been concerned about that could potentially go to 10. And why have I been concerned about this? Yes, the charter could have turned it around, but ever since we've been looking at this move here, and we updated this on January 19th, we created this on the 22nd, which was right around here, December 22nd. That's when I've been calling the red flag in SoFi. Just red flag, guys, be careful. Not saying I know everything, but sometimes when I see these stocks do this, a really high quality SPAC here, and I saw one that I hold the bag, and guys, sometimes, you are going to hold the bag, it's just a part of it, right? We all hold bags sometimes, but I got Genie and I'm still holding the bag. And I thought that SoFi could potentially do the same move here. And so let's look back at the stock here and see what we see. And so ever since then, I drew kind of a box and I said, that's the box that you got to be careful. If we get back into that box, we could test through the low, 1016, break through that, and next thing you know, you're below $10 and you're just looking at overhead supply. So for me, SoFi, until we get back above 14 or 1359, 1360s, it's not into the green zone. We have a green and red. This one actually looks to me like it wants to break through the low and come back towards 10. So just be careful, guys. All right, PayPal being mentioned. Oh, the warnings of all warnings, guys, the payment stocks. This is the one that I definitely keep telling people, just be careful, guys. CNBC's been recommending this stock for months now, guys. I just don't see it. I can't do it, won't do it, and I won't even get close to telling you guys to get long on PayPal. Just be careful with this stock. This stock is an absolute dog right now, and until you guys see the dogs change colors, guys, I would be careful here, guys. Yeah, that's a dog for sure, guys. Just be careful, guys. I don't want to see people get caught on that. All right, guys, time to rally up the people, guys. How we doing out there, guys? Let's go ahead. Let's keep going. Hit the likes. We got about 10 minutes left here. I'm going to keep going through some stocks, but definitely time to get a little bit faster and keep going through ones. IonQ is a good stock. I know about it, but to me, the SPACs have to come back. I'll take a look at the chart. Do I know it? Hell yeah, I know it. It's the Mossy stock. I can even get them on the show. But for right now, to me, I need to get this stock back to kind of really into trend. Right now, it's kind of playing games, it's going up and down. I'd be watching the weekly chart, kind of looking for the 50 to kind of hold here around 1281s. You don't want to see that taken out, but a good move, let's say back above 17 is what you're looking for. That could really start getting you into a bullish trend. And the next thing you know, you're pushing on out, right? And so look for that push back above 17, getting up towards 20. I'd keep an eye on IonQ. hey, come to the show. Let me know when he gets back above that 17, and I'll get him on the show. We'll get Nicola DeMasi on, and we can reach out also to Ion Q CEO. NVIDIA here being mentioned. I want to get into that one. Let's talk a little bit here. Weekly chart getting some leveling on the sideways action. I think if it keeps holding 223s on the downside, you're not looking too bad. So keep your eyes on that 223 mark. If it does break through there, you could get towards 200. So that's the kind of approach that I'd be looking at it. On the daily, you see a little bit more of a bearish trend. You see I'm extending this line that I already had drawn out, was looking for it to break that line. Look how you respected that. So look for it to kind of break through that now. And I'm going to draw a thicker line through there. And so that's a move back below 223, which was the low on Friday, 222.73s. You see why these lows matter, guys. Keep these on watch. Keep the levels going. Let's see what we got in the like game. We got 141 likes. We got over 366 people here, guys. Come on, guys. Support me. Hit the likes, guys. I need to level on up. Come on, support, guys. Let's keep it going. All right, let's go ahead. Dash, please invest in yourself. Hey, guys, if you guys are new to Benzinga, we do this every single day, guys. I have a show, Money Mitch, weekdays, 4:30s, live trading, 9:05 a.m. every single morning except Friday. So come join us, guys. Let's keep going. Dash had that big push, looked like it wanted to come back on out, and instead it just makes it look like a resistance and trying to break through the lows. This one is one that I would avoid right now and could break down through that 91. If I was long and somehow got caught in that 116, I'd be watching that 91, 91, or maybe even 90 to give myself a little bit of room. But if it breaks that, I got to get out of the trade and be careful in Dash. Like always, make your own investment advice, but hey, wish you the best investment yourself. All right. I have a short position at Roku at 110. I like that one specific there too. So 110 looks like it's breaking on down. Roku's been a dog. And so until it kind of changes trend, you can look for a continued dog action. And so what I do is I start looking at the monthlies. Whenever I kind of see this dog action, I need to see a big green candle. And look how you got this Harmy. It kind of faked you out here. It looked like it was going to change, and then it didn't change. It continued trend. Look for a breakdown through the 100. And if your entry is at 110, you got to be a little bit tight. But let's take a look here at the hourly. Yeah, you're right on these levels. So just be careful with a push back into the shadow before you see the breakdown, which could be a move towards 115. And then you see the breakdown. So you're going to maybe get a test there on Monday. I would look for that test, maybe even a wick there. But if you do see start closing above 115 is where I would be careful. Like always, make your own investment advice, Isaiah. All right, let's keep going. I see some other stocks being mentioned. I'm going to roll down. Born, I hope you're enjoying it out there. AMC, where the apes at? I know I'd had to cover AMC at least once. So to me, I'm looking at the daily. Daily started breaking on down here on Friday. So just draw a trend line here. You need to see recovery come back towards, let's say, 1926 tomorrow. If not, you could get a breakdown, continued breakdown through that 1780s down towards 16. Doesn't mean this is going to completely wash away. But for right now, if you look at the weekly, you got a little bounce, but you could come right back down towards that 1522 level. You want to hold this 1775 around here and then get back up there towards 1819. And then you could see continued momentum. That's for the apes out there. Roku, Palantir, you want to fish the bottom? You know what I say about fishing the bottom, right? You are what you eat, man. And if you want to be a bottom fisher, just be careful, dude. Maybe you like some lobster, though. All right, so Palantir broke through that level. I already had this drawn on out, guys. I haven't taken a look. I created this box on February 13th, and I updated it. Actually, created, on February 13th. And I'm looking to see if it was going to break through that on the downside. Let's take a look on the daily. You could see how I drew this line. Was looking for it to continue on the downside. Now you're seeing that continued downside through that level. 1171 is the resistance now. Until you get back above, let's say 12, we're not going to even look at this on the bullish side. And for me, I think this keeps coming down. Could break 10, could break the IPO low. So I'd look at it on a monthly now. And what do you see? 1, 2, 3, 4 months of red until I get a month of green, I'm not looking at Palantir on the upside. And be careful if you break through, let's say 890s on the downside, that could really get some downside action. All right, guys, we got about 5 minutes left. Putting the music on up here. I need some sounds of the sea, guys. We enjoy ourselves. We have good times here on Benzinga. So smash that like, hit the subscribe bell. Let's keep going. Please, guys, hit me up on Twitter, Story Investors. You guys see it up in that corner up there. Hit me up on Twitter. DM me if you guys want to learn a little bit more. Or maybe you guys got some comments or feedback on today's show. I'll keep trying to do better for you guys out there. But, of course, just smash the like and support us. All right, Amazon. I know that I would get into that, Narcissus. So let's go ahead. Let's touch that. Amazon here. So big on the 3,000 level. That's kind of the level that we need to get back. So you see this red candle, this red trend. That was the lower highs trend there, and we can't hold it. So ever since then, we've been looking like we want to continue breaking down. And this is the monthly. And so I look at it a little bit deeper time frame, but I could see us really starting to look like a dead cat bounce there. And if we take out the lows, let's say 3,000, go towards 2,800, watch out, guys. The market's coming down, and I'd be careful. So this is what I always watch on. Try to react. Try not to be over emotional about it. But if that's what it's showing me, I'm going to be careful and watch out. All right, let's keep going, guys. The sounds there, Nikes and Disney here. Big picks moving on up. All right, let's take a look there. Not a bad one there. I did like the 150 look for the potential entry, so let's see how that would have looked. You got up there to 155. I think he needs to hold 149 here. Look at this. So you see here, this is that line in the sand for Disney also. Is this a dead cat bounce, or is it trying to recover back up to the 160s? Above the 160s, I would give this one a little bit more strength and say, all right, now we're starting to really look bullish. But if you break down, let's say, get into that 148 zone, you could see a continued move towards 145. Did get a nice recovery candle. So you can see here into the close, you tried down towards that 150. You're holding that 150. We'll see if we get that push down through the 148s. All right, let's go ahead. Let's keep going. What else do we got? I think I got a couple more. Mitch, we don't hear the sound effects. What do you mean? Born, I'm struggling today. If you're not been hearing the sound effects, I don't know what's been going on there. Should be working there, but who knows? Maybe my thing's not it's not connected to the StreamYard. Now I think it is. You know what this is? You know what I call this? I'm pretty sure you probably heard that one, guys. Let's keep going, guys. Sorry about that. Had some good sounds here. I'm sure that you guys didn't know what was going on, but there you go. Gold is what I'm definitely keep watching, guys, because the money. All right, Mitch, I believe this year will be about active trading, alpha. Yeah, definitely. Alpha and active trading is where it's at. It's not holding stocks too long. I've been doing great on some swing trades lately, but it's very, very difficult. And I say you have to really be right on your rotation and almost not be too greedy, right? There was a time in 2020, 2021 where I say 20, 40% returns was easy. Now I'm looking more at, let's say, if I can get that 10% and risk about 4%, I'm going to nail that trade and continue rinse, wash, and repeat that one. That's how I'm trying to trade right now. Of course, this is all about your sweet spots. Look at your data. Take data. If you don't take data, this is what's going to benefit you the most. Always understand when your patterns are working for you and when they're working against you so that you can put up the fight. Hold on the risk. At certain times, we need to hit the brake. And certain times, we need to what? Power shift into second and hit that risk button and start making some money, because that's what it's about being a trader, guys. It's not necessarily about having the perfect strategy. I know that you're going to probably hear it out there. Oh, I got this strategy. I got that strategy, or I do this and I make that much money. Hey, I mean, power to you, and I wish the best for everyone out there. But like always, there's no 100% strategy. It's all about execution and understanding your data. Knowing when your patterns are working for you and against you is going to benefit you so much on increasing the potential return of your strategy. And that's what it's all about. Hit the thumbs on up. Tell me if you guys enjoyed this. Hit me up in the comments below. And like always, I'm going to keep working hard. Smash the like. Let's go ahead. Last stock I want to get into, Square. If it's going to hold 90s, I'm telling you, payment stocks, I'm not even touching, guys. Not even if you buy the stocks for me, I'd probably hit the sell button that same day, just to save you some money. But that's just my opinion. Like always, make your own investment decisions, guys. I'm here to teach you guys my process and for you guys to master your own. All right, let's go ahead. Let's keep going. A firm being mentioned, Asana, not the worst, but I mean, I'd be careful with these guys. Asana is another one that looks like it did have a nice dead cat bounce. If you look here, now we made a third resistance. I'd actually be looking for this for puts towards the downside towards 50. I might actually be looking for a short on this one tomorrow, especially if we get continued momentum towards the downside in the overall market. All right, last one I want to take a look at is who's going to get it? Dan's going to get it. Home Depot. All right, Home Depot is going to be the last one, 101, giving you a minute of overtime here. If we do get, I'm gonna give an impossible like goal here. Let's hit that like goal, 200 likes. Let's go, smash on up here. I'm gonna do Home Depot. Home Depot looked like we were coming on back. Looks like we could break down through the low there, get through the 343s. I'd watch this low here, 343s. You get through there, you might get back down towards 38s. So it's not looking that good, but if you can recover the 200-day moving average, which is at 350, that's where you could see maybe a swing back on up here towards 374. And you can play it up to that range, and that's how I would approach it. All right, guys, my battery is going to die on my camera. So there it is. All right, my battery's dying on there. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap on up here, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream today. Do me the favor. Come get me. Come meet me up, guys, on Money Mitch. I'm always trading, always talking stocks. I do have live trading with Benzinga. We're going to keep trading live. That's going to be tomorrow at 9:05. So, yes, guys, hit the like. Enjoy that. I'll be wrapping on up here. I'll see you guys, and I'll send you guys over to Nick Shaheen right now. You guys can learn some options trading. So if you guys want to learn some options trading, just stick around. This will redirect you right on over. And, of course, Money Mitch, 4:30s weekdays. And, of course, hit me up at Story Investors. Until then, guys, have a great trading day. And hope you guys have a good one. Take care, guys. Have a good one, Miss Whitehorse. Rewind. Check out some stocks, guys. If you guys jumped in, check it on out, guys. Last song right here.
Those who disagree choose the way over the bar. Those who blend right in choose the book on the laptop. Who have ears to hear, listen to what mama said. Sit down in a church and be quiet and pray. You're taking on the wrong pledge. Your life not granted, so your story echoes in my head.
What I've felt, what I've known, never shine doing what I've shown. Never be, never see, go to see what might happen. What I've felt, what I've known, never shine doing what I've shown. Never free, never me, so I am the unforgiven.
This is the story of a man I used to know. He never listened to his dad and mother were. He found shelter in a wrong place. Friends with a screw face, then killed by their wrong ways. Justice no kind, it's vision blind. Forward with the sentence, no judge can rewind. Rest indeed, rest in peace, rest in me.